Okay, I will go ahead and call tonight's regular council meeting to order. Time is 7 p.m. and we'll start by all rising to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Well, Mayor-elect, I'm going to have you stand back up, and we're going to go over here and start with you first, do the oath of office. Stand right over. Yep. Okay, please place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and read your oath. Do you, Christian Harmeyer, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, the Code of Ordinance for the City of LeCenter, and that you will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of mayor to which you have been elected by the residents on November 8th, 2022, to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't go anywhere after the meeting. We got a bunch of signatures we have to do.
Sounds great.
All right. Dan, you want to next? Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you, Dan Steffen, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, the Code of Ordinances for the City of LeCenter, and that you will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of council member to which you have been elected by the residents on November 8th, 2022, to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, thank you. Do you, Jennifer Weirs, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and the Code of Ordinances for the City of LeCenter, and that you will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of council member to which you have been elected by the residents on November 8th, 2022, to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, I will now turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. All right. As we go on here, again, thank you all for everything you do for the city. We need to approve the agenda for tonight. So if I can get a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. All right. We have the consent agenda. If we can get a motion on that to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Approve the consent agenda as well. All right, we have the public comment area. If anybody wants to step forward and has any petitions, requests, comments, or communications from the general public, if you come up and state your name, your address, and what you might be petitioning for. Anybody? All right. No one there. All right, reports, city reports. EDA, Dan, Mr. Evans.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I don't have any new reports from the EDA front, other than I will give, Collins requested, and I had this on the agenda for next month, to give the annual kind of report for the EDA loans that they put out, and kind of where the ending balances were for 2022.
Okay. Perfect. All right, planning and zoning, Corey.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We will be most likely having a meeting in March for a conditional use permit for a liquid nitrogen tank in the business districts. Anything over 2,000 gallons requires a conditional use permit, so that'll probably be coming up I've been in works with the company that's looking for it, but they haven't made application yet, so that'll most likely be coming up. They're going to miss, for a public hearing, they're going to miss the February deadline, so it'll be March at the earliest.
Okay.
Other than that, that is all I have.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, liquor. How we doing, Becky?
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Hi, Becky.
Our December 2022 sales were $106,894.08. In December of 2021, they were $98,961.69. So we're up $7,932.39. This entire year, we made over $1 million, so that has been a great, wonderful year again. In December, we had a successful month. We had 2 bands, a pfeffer tournament, a meat raffle, and a very busy holiday season. We delivered over 55 gifts to Horizon Place, Carriage House, and Central Health Nursing Home for our Adopt a Senior program. The seniors were very happy and thankful for their gifts. In January, we have had a potluck so far, a band, and a DJ. Saturday the 21st, we have a dart tournament, and Saturday the 28th, we have a pfeffer tournament. Any questions?
Oh, I just want to say you're doing a great job at the community there.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. A great staff to help, so thank you, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
All right. Chief Carlsrud,
All right.
how we doing today?
Good, how you guys doing?
Doing awesome.
Some new faces up here. All right, so December 2022 police activity report. We had 187 calls or incidents handled, 3,050 miles patrolled, and we had 1 criminal arrest. So looking at December 2021 compared to December 2022, we're up 28% on calls or incidents and down about 6% on miles patrolled. If you look up in the, kind of redid the outline here a little bit, try to clean it up a little bit. You'll see our traffic stop number has probably doubled from where it usually is. We had a new full-time officer starting. He's just getting some practice in, so it's not a typical month, but it might be moving forward. So, some updates from what we got going on. Our new 2022 squad should be done this week. Mr. Stefan and I were just up in the cities today, getting the last touches done on that. We'll be stripping down the 2016 squad to go to emergency management. Our full-time opening position closes this Friday. As of right now, we only have 1 application. We have 1 part-time officer being backgrounded right now. And other than that, unless you got any questions, I got nothing else. So.
With that 1 application, I mean, looks like a good candidate.
Yep. They are licensed already. They have about 4 or 5 years of police experience, and they
Okay.
are willing to come here to work. So
Awesome.
if that's all we get, that'd be all right. But
Did any of our part-timers apply?
not for this round, no. We had 1 who was possibly interested in applying, but they got a pay raise and better hours at their other full-time jobs, so they're not going to be available. So.
Okay. All right.
So are we gonna lose that 1 part-time or not? The one that got the better hours and,
No, they're sticking
okay,
around.
he's still gonna stick around?
He's sticking around as far as I know, so I haven't heard anything differently. So yeah, once we get this part-timer going and this new full-time position filled, we'll be fully staffed at 11, so
Okay.
that'd be good.
And you have all the schedules all set the way you want it?
It's still a little bit of work in progress.
Okay.
We started that last Monday on the 2nd, so
Okay.
everybody's still adjusting to the new hours, but
Okay.
we're getting there, so.
Perfect.
Hey, something I've been thinking about, what is our breakdown of, how many males, females do we have?
Right now we have, let's see, I think we have 9 total, so we have 8 males and 1 female.
Never knew. Okay,
Yep. Like, I was discussing with Mr. Evans last week, I was gonna try and go through and create a nice breakdown of all the calls that we did in 2022, like this, except the total year, but LATG, our record system went down around Christmas time for about 10 days, and it's came back up, and it's all wonky, and I can't get into the right reports, so work on getting that for next month, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, Chief.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate all your work. All right, Public Works, Kurt.
Mayor, council members,
Thanks, Kurt.
first of all, we had a water break just up the street here at 48 North Park Avenue. We got that fixed. It was a service line going into the barber shop there. Next item I have is recycling. This is the month where numbers come in play. We have recycling report. 2022, we took in 54 ton of cardboard, which was 19.87 ton less than last year. Commingling, we took in 127.48 tons of commingle. That's almost 9.94, almost 10 ton more than last year. The garbage was down. We took in 427 ton, and that was down 7.63 tons less. That equals to about 1 truckload. So overall, the city, between garbage and recycling, we handled over 608 tons of material. Also, we handled 330 cubic yards of leaves that we haul over to Mankato. And that brings us to the brush pile. It's been all ground up. It wasn't chipped up, it was ground up. We had that done on the last week in December. Approximately 23 days since we made contact with that organization. They came down and ground it up. Big equipment, one day. They haven't hauled it away yet, but went really good.
Is there a date when they're gonna haul it?
No,
Not yet?
No,
Okay.
that's fine. We didn't push that.
No, that's fine.
And streets, we had several snow events, and it's quite funny that those snow events come on the same time as garbage day. So we'll see a plow truck, like the 1 ton, go through the alleys, and we're picking up garbage in the back of that 1 ton, and still plowing snow with that at the same time. So it always creates interesting challenges for that. Also, we had to, went up to the fairgrounds, we had to push back some of that snow with a cat yesterday and make room so we can haul up there. We're not the only ones that haul up there, other businesses do too. And we just let them haul up there, because it's the only place they got.
Yep.
That's all I have, Mayor, Council.
Perfect. Is the skating rinks getting used?
Not open yet.
They're using it a little bit.
I saw some pictures of some people up
Yeah,
there.
on the figure skating side is open.
It's tough.
It's
Oh,
tough.
yeah, with the snow and everything.
Now we're gonna get 38 degrees here on Sunday, but we're trying to move the snow and make it freeze for us down there, but
Okay.
yeah. And then I like to just say thanks to everybody. Been good.
Kurt, thank you for everything you've done,
Yep, thanks, Kurt.
for all your years of service.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. All right, on to old business. A here, utility rate study update. Dan, you have that?
Yes, so I've been working with the manager from Abdo, who's kind of putting the numbers together, and she's going to give me a couple of structures here within the next week or so, and then we're going to kind of work together, come up with a couple of recommendations, and then we'll look to present those findings at the February meeting. So we'll come up with a couple of rate structures and a couple of things so we can move around. I think there's a presentation that goes along with that, so look for that at the February meeting.
All right, now we have to set a hiring committee for the full-time police officer position. What was that? Nope. Police officer first, yep. All right. In the past, we've just used who's been on that committee. And that's Dan and myself is on the police committee. So if you don't mind, this Dan,
This
sorry.
Dan? Okay.
This Dan. If you
Nope.
don't mind, if that's something you don't want to be on.
Nope, that's fine. That'd be,
All right?
yep.
Okay. Does that work for you, Mr. Evans?
Yep, I'll note that.
All right. All right. Next, we need to set a hiring committee for the full-time public works general maintenance workers position. With that,
And I did look back, Mr. Bayer, and it's superintendent, you, and then Jenny, that's on the Public Works.
Public Works,
Yep,
okay.
So if you just want to keep it as that, that would be a good recommendation to have that.
Okay. All right. Is everybody all right with that? Okay. Good. All right. Next, we need to consider approving the updated general maintenance worker job description. Dan and Kurt went over and updated this a bit, so that's why we need to make sure we approve this to be presented. If there's anything that you've seen in it, it looked good to me.
Yeah, and then
You
Pat
guys-
had a hand in this too, kind of retooling it, so we just looked to get a motion to approve this job description, and then I will go ahead and get that posting out tomorrow with the updated job description. So we didn't change a whole lot, just made some refinements and cleaned it up a little bit and made it read a little bit better, and then we put in very similar how we did to the superintendent position with work environment. That's kind of that boilerplate, so kind of making all the job descriptions match, basically. So just for approval for that tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve the City of LeCenter position description for the Public Works Superintendent.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the updated general maintenance worker job description. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, all opposed, same sign.
When will the posting
All
close
right.
for that?
Probably have it before the next meeting, and then I'll reach out to the hiring committee via email and let you know how many we got in, and we can vet them from there.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. New business. Oops. New business, A here. We need to consider approving the resolution number 2023B, declaring a city or a council member seat vacancy. Dan, do you have anything you want to say about that?
We'll handle that on the next item. Right now, the main part is just that we know that there is a vacancy that existed for you midterm getting elected to mayor, so we just, by state statute, need a resolution to declare that, and then in Section B next, and we can discuss the state statutes and what the next steps could be.
All right, anybody have any questions on this? All right, need a motion to pass this.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2023B, declaring a council member seat vacancy.
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2023B. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, approved. All right, now on to the fun stuff. We have to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, so state
Mr. Evans?
statute indicates that because there's less than half the time allotment on the term, that the council can go ahead and do an appointment. We do not need to call for a special election. A couple of different ways of going about appointing. The one that I'm probably most familiar with, that I've done in a past community, is when there's a vacancy, is that the city puts out a posting laying that out that there is a vacancy and that this term would go to December 31st, 2024, so there's 2 years left on it. And all interested parties are encouraged to fill out some sort of an application process, and then from there the council can look at the applicants that are interested and then either vet them from there, make a determination, or can appoint at the next meeting. If they want to bring them in for little mini interviews, they can speak in front of the council on why they think they would be a good fit. So that's probably the best way that I've done it in the past. The kind of a second option is because we had other candidates run for this past election in 2022, another option would be to give it to the next highest vote getter and then just appoint whoever the next highest vote getter is.
Okay.
So those are kind of the two options that that I'm familiar with as far as appointments go.
All right. Discussion from the council?
I'm leaning more apt to lean towards the person who got the highest votes.
Mm-hmm.
I am as well.
Yeah, that's because they already showed interest in it.
Mhm.
Gotcha. You sure that, I mean, that's fine, all right. Do we need a motion for this? Any other discussion on it?
So what we can do is I will reach out to that person to see if they're still interested. Do you have any contingencies if they're not?
Well, if we're going that route, we'd probably ask the next person in line then. I personally, and with this discussion, I do like the way that Dan presented first with having them fill out that application to come in and do it for a couple reasons. One, well, if we don't have to go through this process if they don't want it, right? Because, well, we didn't get it, right? Secondly, anybody else that may have been wanting to run before, but they saw that there was more people out there running, that they just decided not to run because of that. Thirdly, for the citizens of the town, they're only able to vote for two people, right? That third person, whoever's there, they didn't get to vote for a third person. You know what I mean? So it's just not, I don't know. That is my point of view, but it's all up to you, council. So,
and it doesn't have to be addressed tonight. There's nothing in state statute that says the council has to within a certain time frame, hurry up and get somebody in the seat. The options are you can pick option 1 or option 2, or you can table it. It's really up to the council on what they want to do.
Yeah. So those are just a few of the views that I saw on it, but this is our council, so whoever we bring in here is who we want, right?
I do see your point on that, because what would happen if either the two that were already voted, they didn't get it and decline, we're going to be back at this anyway.
And I'll be honest, that was the same conclusion I had come up in a previous community, and that's why I was more familiar with the option of putting it out there and basically starting the process over rather than a carryover from an election that has ended. And just kind of, yes, this is an appointment, but we're starting the process over with applicants or candidates that are interested in it. So that would be my recommendation, and one that I know that's been proven to work well in the last community that I was at.
Yeah, that way the only thing, it just, the person that, if they are interested in it, they just come in and apply anyways.
Right.
Instead of being appointed, so.
Yeah.
It still would be appointed.
Correct,
Right.
correct, but instead of us just going out and saying, hey, do you want it, you got the second, they're just filling out a paperwork saying that they're interested and.
Yep, and it can be a really simple application. I probably would just go off of what our Citizen Advisory Board application is, which is just a couple of questions that's basic information to make sure that they're eligible to be appointed to council, and what their maybe interests are, their background is, and why they would be a good fit. So basically it would be like a Citizen Advisory Board application, and then do a couple posting to get the word out there, and then see how many we could get back. And then from there we can discuss, depending on how many people are potentially interested, doing next steps from there.
I like that idea. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yep, I'll just take a motion to do that route.
All right, I'll make a motion then that we do just put out an application process to find our next candidate.
Got a mo-
See, we're putting that out, how long do we wait? Do we have a time frame?
Good question, yeah. Do we have a time frame for that?
I would, at the next meeting, we would have the applications turned in by then, and then we can present them at the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion to approve the application process to fill the vacancy for the city council seat. And a second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
All right,
All opposed, same sign. All right. When will you have that posted then?
I could probably have that within the next 2 days. I'll have that posting
Okay.
up, and then I'll just retweak the advisory board application a little bit,
Okay,
and then make that readily available.
all right, perfect.
thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, good. All right, next, letter D here, consider renewing the water and sewer access charge, the whack and sack.
Oh, Mr. Mayor,
skip
you
C.
missed
Oop,
one.
C.
oop, oop, sorry,
9C.
my bad. Sorry, consider approving resolution number 2023C. All right, and that is the 2023 annual appointments and designations.
So if you look on that appendix A, there is some highlighted red that are open spots. So if anybody has any interest being on those, the Planning and Zoning Commission as a liaison, or the EDA committee as a liaison, you can speak on that. The
And
only requirement is that the same person can't do the both.
Yeah, and those are open because of the vacancy as of right now. So those usually would not be open, but we didn't want to over-stimulate anybody on the council right now with everything. So that's why those are open. So if you would like to be on those, that's more than welcome. If not, we can wait with that.
I think we should probably get 2 liaisons on.
Do you think we should
Yep,
have?
yep. You know, there, on the planning and zoning, there is would be the member at large that's still open, but my recommendation would be to get at least the council liaison, somebody appointed to both the EDA and the planning and zoning.
Okay,
Because I don't want to get in any quorum issues in the future if we need to act on any P&Z matters or EDA matters. So
okay.
if anybody is interested, speak now, and then can do appointments from there. And then upon passing that resolution, we'll just note that those changes were in there.
So Jennifer, you're already on planning and zoning. Is that an interest for Dan or
You have to throw me on which one.
Colin?
Which one you want me on? Which one do you prefer me on?
I'll let you, well, do go planning and zoning.
Okay.
All right. I am already on EDA, so that would be Colin or Jenny, if you guys would want to volunteer for that EDA committee.
Or possibly a new person who comes on board.
Like Dan said, though, we'd like to have.
I think we
these-
need to get it
we need
filled
we-
with 2, because we usually typically have 2 liaison officers on the council that are on those committees.
Just in case, like you said, something, we need to vote on something. and-
We can always amend this document in the future if a council member chooses not to be on there anymore. You know, that's not a big deal, that because there is a vacancy now, and if that new person would potentially have interest, we can just amend this appendix at a later time to change who's on that. That's not a problem. But we do, my recommendation is we do need to fill the appointments with liaison positions.
Colin or Jenny?
I could definitely do it.
All right. All right.
Mr. Mayor, with correction of the Planning and Zoning Commission, if there's a person that you had spoken to that
Correct. He has not yet
for the application.
filled the application out. He's had some other things going on right now, so
No problem.
he will in times, in
But
which,
there's the liaison and only one open position, not
Cor-
two.
correct, that's council liaison open.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, I should have tabbed on that. That does read that way.
You got me.
All right, all right. All right, well, we got those filled. Do we have any other questions, discussions regarding the 2023 City of LeCenter annual appointments and designations?
So you just need a approval of resolution 2023C with those changes.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2023C, which is the annual appointments and designations.
A second.
All right, we have the motion and second for the approval of resolution number 2023C. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Approved. All right. On to letter D. All right, consider renewing the water sewer access charge. That's the whack and sack fees waiver of $2,500 for new residential and commercial construction. This is something that we've done every year since I've been on city council to help entice builders in the to build houses in the community, new residents to build in the community. I think it's something that has helped out with construction process. Any discussion? If that's something we want to keep going. Obviously, Colin and Jenny, you both have been a part of that in the last few years.
I can give you the history of it all if you want to.
Go ahead, Corey.
So back in 2008, when the recession hit, a number of communities were looking at what it would take to entice construction. At the time, Montgomery had a $7,000 whack and sack fee that had been partially waived. They had waived $4,000 of it, so they were still collecting $3,000. LeCenter looked at it, as well as other communities, but knowing that Montgomery had a large amount out there and were waiving a portion of it, LeCenter and other communities kind of got on board with the same concept. When we originally adopted the ordinance, it was not meant to be waived. It was meant to be a rebate. It was going to put that $2,500 back into the pocket of the potential home buyer. So the Economic Development Authority had approved that $2,500 to come out of their pocket, while the builder was paying the $2,500 to go into the water and sewer budgets. That lasted about a year and it got changed. So the concept was reward the buyer, not necessarily the builder. We wanted to make sure at the time that the buyer of the house got that rebate and had the $2,500 that hopefully they would spend at Rademachers, at Hardware Hank, at the local restaurants, wherever it would be. It got changed, it got waived, the money, it just kind of floats out there. The lack of money just kind of floats out there now. And it's certainly, over the last few years, I'm assuming, it's no secret, I've been against this since about year number 3 when it changed, that it shouldn't be waived. Montgomery is back up to the $7,000. Pretty much everybody's back up to what they had been previously. I think that's not a large amount of money, but it's an amount of money that would benefit the water and sewer budgets.
So if somebody's coming in the community to build a home, are they even aware of this? So it's not benefiting them whatsoever because they're not aware of it even. I mean,
I can't say, I shouldn't say no. If they're paying attention to the January meeting every year for the last however many years, maybe they know about it. Maybe they've heard rumors about it. In general, I would say they don't.
But they would know about it when applying for a building permit, that,
Not even.
sure.
They would just, because it wouldn't even show up. It would be the building permit fee for the house, and that's it.
And even at that being waived, we don't know what's being passed on to the homeowners.
They would if they look at their itemized.
Right, but we don't know if the homeowners are benefit from this or just the builders are like,
Yeah. We're just simply not collecting the money right
Correct.
now, and that's all we know about it. Without accusing anybody of not shuffling money, of shuffling money, we just know that it's not going into the water and sewer funds where it's designated to go, because it's not even being collected.
Big thing with this, with the previous councils as well, is that $2,500, I totally understand what you're saying, but if someone's building a house for you, and I'm the contractor, I'm gonna charge you that $2,500 no matter what, or not no matter what, I'm gonna charge you that $2,500 because I got charged for it. All right, so in the previous councils, you are saving that money from those builders that are building in the community. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I mean, the construction builders aren't gonna eat $2,500 either, so. So, we need a motion, one way or another, for the $2,500 waive, or if there's any more discussion on it.
It's silence.
Silence.
Corey puts his view puts a lot into it of the 2,500.
And if you want to look at it in simple terms, we've seen the audit report. Yes, granted, we are doing a water and sewer rate study. Those funds have been decreasing over the last several years. So if you want to look at it and then make an easy decision, reinstating the whack and sack fees will generate revenue in those funds that are declining. If you want to look at it on an accounting standpoint as far as figures go, to make the decision easier, I do tend to agree with Corey that most cities now have reinstated their whack and sack fees.
It would be collected with the building permit. I'm only giving you the history of it because I know what the history is of it. It's only collected when somebody pays for the permit. That's the only thing that I have to do with it, because it's not my sewer fund, it's not my water fund, it's
Right.
not
And
building
that's
permit.
what I indicated, that's what I meant by they would know it's coming because it would be on the building permit for the fee schedule, the whack
Oh,
and sack
correct.
would be,
Yep.
was what I meant by that.
Correct.
Coming from a homeowner who did build their own home, I had no idea that we were charged anything like this, and I'm pretty sure it was not waived that many years ago, so I just,
And that's not, to me, that's not an outrageous. If I'm building a house, $2,500,
well, considering Montgomery is charging the 7,000, I mean, this is nothing.
correct.
And most likely a homeowner is not going to know they're being charged.
And it's
that.
not necessarily not being known, it's not,
You really would have to look at an itemized
Yeah,
bill
yeah.
from a
I
contractor is what you'd
believe-
have to do.
I believe the origin of those amounts started, and Kurt maybe knows better than I do. I want to say, I've been the inspector here for almost 19 years now. And it started, I think, either the beginning of the year when I started or the year before. It had not been in effect for more than a year from when I took over from Mr. Wolfel. So you might have built before that.
I've been there almost 21 years now, so yeah. I'm just looking at what do we have for options for building within the community right now? That's, I mean.
We're
so-
down to roughly, unless I'm missing some, probably 7 lots until what we're hoping goes through with those Horizon lots.
Yep, those 4 parcel Horizon lots.
Yeah. Yeah. Which would be quite a bit more. So roughly 7. 5 homes were built this past year. I don't remember if it was 5 or 7 the year before, and it was roughly 5 or 7 the year before that. So that's about where we've been.
Here's a question. So those lots that are intended to be built upon, how does this affect them if the 2,500 was reintroduced
It would be collected.
from those?
So, yep, this is, it's a connection fee. So when somebody would get the permit to put a house on that lot, they would pay the connection fee. In the past, if a house burnt down and somebody rebuilt that house, we did not charge, we charged them the building permit for the new house, but we did not charge them the water and sewer connection fees, because the assumption was either they built before it, they fell in line before it, or they've already paid it. So we've never gone back and hit up an existing lot that had an existing house on it. It would only be for new lots. So the connection fee would be sold with the building permit for new construction on essentially a new lot, vacant lot.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion then that we reinstate the whack and sack fees for new residential and commercial construction.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and second to reinstate the whack and sack fees to new residential and commercial construction. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. All right, on to administration and other business. Letter A, 2020-23 Elected Leaders Institute Foundations Program. The Mankato cohort, which is Friday, February 10th through Saturday, February 11th. Do you have any insight on that?
Just
Tim?
if anybody wants to attend that, just let me know, and then we can go through the league to get you signed up.
All right. Perfect. B, we have the Minnesota Valley Council of Governments General Assembly meeting at 4:30 on Wednesday, the 18th. The location is to be determined. Dan, anything on that?
Nope.
All
Nope,
right.
these are
Just information?
Yep, just kind of updates.
Perfect. And lastly is the Lee Sueur County Officials Association meeting at 6:30 PM on Wednesday, January 25th at the American Legion, Post 108 in LeCenter here. For new people, I would highly suggest you go. It's in town here. You're not required to go, but I would head into town or head to the Legion and check that out. Got a lot of officials from all around the county come in. The county commissioners will be there as well. And have they got a speaker yet for that? Have you heard?
I don't recall that on my agenda that if there was a speaker.
You don't have a speaker yet for that one. So it'd be a good one to go to. Start off the year there, but if not, it's like I said, it is an optional meeting for you. All right. Yes.
From attending them, I personally recommend it because it's a great way to network and it's a great way to meet the other elected officials around the county, from city council to mayors to the commissioners, and a lot of good ideas are put forth, and a lot of information is gained.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it.
You get to hear some of the new things that might be going on in the cities and cities around our county. New Prague, when they redid their streets there, they brought that up quite a bit, which was interesting to hear some of that stuff too. So, a lot of great information. If there's nothing else on that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.